Mum of three, Katie Andersen, along with parental life coach Jackie Hall, join us now to discuss. Good morning, ladies.
You know, you stayed at home to raise three kids. You're raising three humans. You're putting people into the world. It's a very important job.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's too much pressure on parents to go back to work?
I do, and you know, I loved my job. It was a great job, but for me, it was a priority to raise my children. And I just think there's way too much social pressure as well with women. With other women. I get a lot of comments. My youngest starts school next year, and I get a lot of comments from mothers saying, you know, when are you going back to work? And I'm kind of like, well, I'm not going back to work. I've booked myself into a nut house. You know, I've been at home for almost 10 years looking after children. But the next question is usually, well, aren't you going to be bored? And I'm like, bored? No. Like, I would love to be bored, you know. And it's really hard. And I think it's really hard also when you do become a stay-at-home mum, you do lose your professional identity as well. And, you know, I'd like to say to people there's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mum, and people should celebrate that. And there's also nothing wrong with being a working mum as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, there are some people who argue that being a parent isn't a full-time job, which is extraordinary because having been there now, I can see that it definitely is. Do you think that there's enough support and appreciation for stay-at-home parents?
Not really, because I think that parents need to have more support, and I think then there needs to be the stigma dropped about stay-at-home mums that we're boring and dowdy and it's not a proper job. And I mean, I think it is a proper job. As you said, you're raising humans, and I think that's, you know,
what I'm
a massive
curious
thing
about,
to the community.
Katie, is as well, because your husband works as well, you could easily go back into the workforce. And what this government is saying in part yesterday was, if you are both going to go back into the workforce, we'll help support that. But if one of you chooses not to, well, then hands off, we're not going to do that. So it's not just you know, guilt from people around you and other parents. Now the government's sort of coming in saying, if you're going to be a stay-at-home parent, we're not going to support that as much.
Well, look, I do understand from a point, there is to an extent that it's fair and that it's not fair. With the whole childcare rebate, they're not going to give it to mothers, stay-at-home parent, people that have a stay-at-home mum. I kind of think, well, that's okay, but it's not specific in whether it's age-related. Like, so for children under 3, I don't know if there's any studies out there that say children have to go into care, but for children over 3, there is a school readiness program, and the Department of Education, I'm sure, would promote kids going to school. So parents that have a single mum at home, are they going to get any support for the year before school?
Well, Katie and Jackie, thank you so much, especially you, Katie, for really sacrificing your time with 3 kids.
Yeah. Hey, it's fine. I was happy to get hair and makeup done rather than do this crazy school drop-off anytime.
Writer and Guardian columnist Van Badham and Mum Katie Andersen. Good to talk to you both.
Thank you.
Katie, you had 3 children, your 3 children,
yes.
By the time you were 30.
Yes.
You know, as Van says, it's really a question of choice. What is going to be the thing that makes you most happy at any particular point? What can you live with? What can you live without? You know, juggling those kind of priorities, and has to be a decision for men and women to make together, I guess, if they're going to co-parent. For you, how has that choice worked out?
Well, I guess I was lucky. I met the man of my dreams when I was about 20, so everything kind of fell into place. I felt that I could have children now rather than later, because I knew if I had them now, I would have, by the time I'm 33, I'd be able to go off and have my career. And we had always wanted children anyway, so we thought, why not just do it now?
And
what are we waiting for?
Is still the plan, though, for you to, when the kids are at school, to go off and have a career, or to study, or move into a professional environment?
It is, yeah. I mean, when I get to that time, I would like to pursue my passion and my dreams of what I wanted to do, and I feel that I've got plenty of time to do that.
You know, in the broader social sense, there is beginning to be a bit of an evolution. I mean, it used to be we worked on certain assumptions about, you know, how the household would be structured post the birth of the children. I think those things are much more, you know, a joint and collaborative decision nowadays, but it's something that we need to keep our eyes on all the time, that's for sure.
Yeah, and getting rid of terms like how the man is helping or babysitting. Getting rid of some of those
he's not just being a father, he's babysitting.
You're actually a parent, you're not babysitting.
You're doing your share, right?
Yeah.